Going to go to the French newspapers now. Just chatting to Elena before we came in there. She says there's star signs, there's the TV review, and there's one other subject in the French newspapers today. What is it, Elena?
Oh, it's that social summit that Nicolas Sarkozy is holding today on unemployment. That's pretty much all the papers are interested in. La Croix on their front page calls it a crisis summit on the deathbed of employment. So, as you'd gather from that, things are pretty dire. The business paper Les Echos then has got some of the proposals that Sarkozy plans to come up with to get France out of this disastrously high unemployment situation on its front page, and the flagship one is the social VAT. That's the idea of putting VAT up by 2% so that the government could then afford to reduce the contributions that employers pay to social security and thus make it cheaper to hire people. So Sarkozy's making what the paper calls a classically neoliberal analysis of the situation. That's to say, France's problem is that it's not competitive enough. They need to make it cheaper to hire people and then easier to fire them. Now, Les Echos doesn't reckon this is going to convince many voters, apart from the fact that the idea of paying more VAT is unpopular in itself. There's also the fact, they say, that he's made so many different kinds of reforms throughout the 5 years of his presidency that all voters really see now isn't necessarily the content of the proposals, it's just that he's changed his mind again. And the other thing that they really see is on the front page of La Tribune, and their headline this morning is the France of redundancies. What voters really see is people all around them, friends and family, losing their jobs.
So quite a few criticisms in the papers then, but have they actually got any potential solutions for Sarkozy?
Well, Libération's probably got the bleakest headline. They've got 1,000 new job seekers every day. But below that, we've got what solutions here. And the solutions, according to Libération, are not at all the ones that Sarkozy's proposing. Now, they reckon that he's betting on the most unpopular possible policy, the social VAT, in order to try and portray himself as a really brave, decision-making president who's going to go out and do what needs to be done, even if voters hate it. Now, Libération reckons that's going to turn around and bite him back badly, because people so badly don't want to pay more taxes, and of course poor ordinary people don't want to feel that they're being made to pay for the crisis. But they're also evaluating some of his opponents' policies to try and get rid of this. François Hollande, the socialist candidate, his big flagship policy to cut unemployment is what he calls the generational contract. That's basically paying employers to keep older employees on longer and hire younger ones so that one can train the other, if you like. Now, the Libération thinks that's a pretty good idea, but it is expensive, and Hollande's not quite spelt out how he's going to finance it. And the third and fourth placed currently presidential candidates, François Bayrou, the centrist, and far-right Marine Le Pen, are both betting, with different tones, obviously, on the idea of forcing companies to produce things in France and kind of reverse the process of globalisation. But neither of them was quite spelt out how they're going to make companies do that.
Really sounds like nobody's expecting anything to come out of this summit then.
Well, they're not really, apart, of course, from Nicolas Sarkozy's favourite people over at Le Figaro, who, of course, think he's full of wonderful ideas. Their headline this morning is the Socialist Party is preparing to attack the middle classes. They've interviewed the budget minister there, Laurent Wauquiez. Now, he's laying into François Hollande's idea of rebalancing the whole of French income tax so that it's a little bit heavier, yes, on those middle classes and a bit lighter on the poorest to try and make the people who have most pay the most. Now, Hollande says that everyone is going to, or what the vast majority of people are going to come out better out of his tax reform. Of course, that's not how Le Figaro puts it. They say it's a highly dangerous policy, and Sarkozy, of course, has all the right answers.
OK, well, we shall find out exactly what Sarkozy says and have reaction to it throughout the day, of course, here on France 24. Elena, thanks very much.